Hey Matthew, I wanted to send along a quick screenshot video of what's going on in the Playback app, just so you can see it. I don't know if you've ever looked inside of the app. Unless you have a subscription, you probably haven't. So this is on my iPad. This is the iPad that I use Sunday mornings and at rehearsals to play back our tracks. If I open the app, as you can see, you have the set list here, which is the songs. You can see we had some pads and some good grace this morning. We didn't do echoes, obviously. Along the top you have your transport controls as well as fader and some of the settings that you can adjust. And below the songs you have a graphical representation of the song that includes the different parts: refrain, verse 2 here, and chorus. You can adjust those on the fly, but anyway, don't need to get into all that since I don't think you're going to be using this. But what's important, I think, and what might help you to understand what's going on is, for instance, this is Good Grace that I have highlighted here. As you can see along the bottom, these are all the different stems. There are actually 20 different stems to this song. Now, of course, we're not sending 20 different channels or signals to the board. We're only sending 8, since that's how many outputs we have available, or inputs, I should say, we have available at the board. And so we're summing a lot of these together and combining them to get it down to that 8 that we have available. Obviously, the click and guide are always combined. Most of the drums are combined. Bass instruments. This happens to have a bass guitar, which I dropped the fader down, as you can see right here. It also had a synth bass that I left up. Acoustic guitar, which I dropped this morning, obviously with Sam on guitar. A bunch of electric guitars, a bunch of keys that are all combined. And then, of course, at the end here are the vocals. The reference, just so you know, within the app, if when you're rehearsing you want to hear the actual original mix, you can tap, you can solo that. It's kind of a ghost bus. It's not sent along to anything really for playback. But if you want to hear, what is the band doing in that part, you can tap on that to hear it. Buses. These are the buses that I send in general. This is kind of a fader control, but to actually manipulate the buses, you go into the settings, and you go over here to buses, and this is where I can change everything and combine things into various buses to send it upstream to the board. Can't do it right now because I don't have any of the interfaces hooked up. It only thinks there's 2 channels available. That's why it's showing click and guide in 1, everything else in 2. Now, if I did hook up an interface, say my Focusrite with 8 outputs, it would, and I had the auto bus functionality enabled, it automatically just assigns everything over 8 buses. When I hooked up the Play Audio 12 and did the auto bus feature, it summed everything into about 10 different buses or channels. I subsequently kind of broke that down to 8 because we don't have 10 available, so I took it down to 8, combined a couple of things. This doesn't obviously explain what was going on with the with the channels coming in and out or flopping around, but I just thought this might be helpful for you to see what's going on inside of the app itself. So when I hit play, obviously it just moves along. You got the count off, and it just goes along through the song. Yeah, so that's it, and then it just goes song to song. There's a lot of different things you can do in terms of transitions between songs. You can arrange, you can move things around, chorus and verses. You can repeat stuff. You can do it on the fly, live. You can tap on one of these sections. So it's really cool. It's a pretty cool playback. Obviously, it's not Ableton Live by any means, but for just playing back these tracks, I think it's pretty sufficient for me without needing Ableton Live, which I don't have. So. Okay, anyway, hope this helps, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, Matt. Bye.